Every Jamaican must own a plot of land. $2 million a week. You and the minimum wage person buying the same loaf of bread for $500.
Opposed to your philosophy where you stated last week saying that why should one man own 15,000 acre land and another one suffering on the street? A man might say, boy, you should not have no right, no position to tell him how much acre land him should own. Him work hard for him things, him save hard for him things, make sacrifices for him things, and therefore he's living off of him hard labor. So you should have absolutely no right to say that that shouldn't go so, or you should limit your wealth then, so to speak. What's your say on it?
Well, first of all, I am not going to take away that man's legal right if he had bought property. But let us understand the system, and this is what is wrong. It is the system that have been put in place. Now let us look at Jamaica. Jamaica has 3.4 million acres of land, right? The Spaniards came here and took it away. Really, they stole it from the Tainos and the Africans that were there. They stole it and put legislation in place how the land is distributed. In 1655, the English came and defeated the Spain and took over Jamaica. And they then put certain laws in place that would allow the rich to stay rich and the poor get poorer. Let us look at a simple equation. You have 50,000 acres of land in one man's hand, one white man, and I'll put it in that context.
Or Chinese.
Right. And you have 15,000 workers on that land, black people. In 1834, black people did not get any money from the crown. The crown gave the slave owner, the slave master, 20 million pounds to share up, and that he would hold the land. Black people got nothing. And this is why intergenerationally it comes down to the present day that a wicked system is in place, put in place by the crown. So we have to understand that what we are doing now is making right what was wrong in the beginning. So if the stream start dirty, we can't continue with it being dirty. We must have land. When you look at the sharing of the wealth of Jamaica, let us look at a simple thing like you're working in a bank. A lowly worker in a bank is getting the minimum wage, while the bank manager and the directors and these people pay themselves $2 million a week. And it is there for you to see $2 million a week. At the end of the week, you and the minimum wage person buying the same loaf of bread for $500. It is wrong, and the system must change. So the distribution of land, we must change that. Every Jamaican must own a plot of land. Every Jamaican. As I said in the start, we have 3.4 million acres of land. And if you distribute 1 acre land into lots, you can get 10 lots. So we have 34 million lots in Jamaica. Every Jamaican, we have 3 million Jamaican. Every Jamaican must own a plot of land. Every Jamaican.
Bless it. Yeah, racist. So we see where the hurricane passed and gone in Jamaica. And people are saying, boy, in some rural areas, JPS, some contractors, it is alleged that some contractors are charging person there for them reconnectivity of the electricity. My say on it is that the country should not have one sole only electricity supply that is governing our control in the entire country. We should have competitors and alternatives that individuals can turn to. What's your thought on that, firstly?
Yeah, man, you know, we have to look back at the colonial system that we have inherited, where the big man control everything. This is where we are going wrong. And I want to add right away, right off the bat, Jamaica is blessed with sunshine. We are in the era of solar energy. We should have more solar energy available to the people. Jamaica has an abundance of sunshine. So we need to look firstly on bringing in, as they would call it, clean energy. You're not burning no fossil fuel to get this energy. You're using sunlight. Now, back to the monopoly of JPS. The monopoly of JPS came about because of the system that was instituted by the colonial government. And we have inherited it. And since independence, we have not thought, how can we do it differently? So we see them selling JPS to external forces. That's another thing. You should not sell your power company to any external entity. Keep it internal, nationalize it. This is where we want to look at nationalism. We're going to nationalize our electric service, that it serves the people of Jamaica.
Talk about companies such as, not call a name, but the internet service providers companies, where we say are only two great competitors. Why isn't other services is not introduced on the island, like when Claro did about? Why is it those companies, which I know who is there, maybe not a whole lot, but they are there? Why aren't those companies being propagated on the island?
Prominent, yes, and this is something that we have to look at very seriously. Because the two major, well, make us start with the one provider, which was Cable and Wireless, which was a British company that had the monopoly. And this is why we have inherited this, that Cable and Wireless eventually transformed and morphed into what we now know as Flow, which has a dominance in the system. But there are many smaller companies that had come on stream, but they were fought by these big companies and kept out of the market because they know the profit that they are making and they are not willing to share it. When we look at even Cash Plus came out with a phone system, megaphone, and you could make international calls, free.
So why is the fight being, I know how business work, but why is it allowed by the government to say that we will allow you guys to crush your competitors to the point where kick them out of business completely, even though we see where it could be used in the rural areas and for the betterment of the people? Why is it allowed?
Because the people who give these politicians the power have not gotten back any power from the politicians. Now, when you look at, and I've said this all the while, you know, the man with the money is the man that calls the shots. We are in an oligarchy. We are not in a democratic process. The oligarchical process is where the man with the money control the politician and the politician control the people. And this is exactly what is playing out. When an election is called, these big companies can take $20, $30, $40 million and give to the political parties to run their campaign. The smaller companies can't do that. So the preference is to the bigger companies. And it has repeated itself in so many different areas. It must change, and the people must be wise enough to understand that when you give the politician power, the politician in turn represents your views and must do things in the best interest of you, the citizen, which is not being done.
But well on Racy, then that means it go deeper. What if a man will just graduate and have a brilliant idea of opening up a new electricity company, green energy so to speak, and him have the farmland and everything, and then him get published from him savings or from family capital, him start up him company. Then you say those oligarchs, big companies, competitors, can totally wipe him out of business and force him out of the country to do film business elsewhere. Isn't that bad for the country itself?
Of course, and this has been happening. And this is why the people must get political education. They have to bring back civics in the school, that the people can understand these things when it is not working in their best interest. You get rid of the politician. This is the bottom line. And this is why the political parties that have share the power of Jamaica has allowed the big man to prosper every time at the expense of the small man. And it must change. The people must wise up and rise up. In any democracy, the people's interests must be served first.
One.